Hello everyone, this is the LEGO Creator 3-in-1 Rocket Rally Car set. Being a 3-in-1 means that you can build one of three possible options, only one at a time using the parts included in one set. I'm going to show you all three of those official builds in this one video though, starting with this smallest one, a Rocket ATV. Yeah, a Rocket ATV. Okay, well this kind of sets the scene and the stage for the entire set because they're intentionally going for a little bit of lack of realism here, bring a little lack of realism to the line. And I respect that. I mean, if you want, you can always just leave that rocket unit off the back entirely. I mean, that's your prerogative, but they did include it. And interestingly, this has a seat that can be used by a minifig. So you can see this as being a gigantic ATV if you want. Minifig, JANG fig, not included, but that does work. I always appreciate it when they have something that is anything close, even a little bit close to minifig scale, and they make it so that you can put a minifig in it, even if it's too big for a minifig or it's too small. Still, if there's kind of a suggestion of an operator compartment, it's nice to be able to put a minifig in there because a lot of LEGO fans have minifigs, so it only makes sense. The build of this thing is fine. Leave the rocket off if you want. I think it's a fine use of pieces. The color scheme looks okay. You know, there's some yellow coming through, some white, some gray up here. Maybe not the best. A little bit of blue at the front. But I mean, as a tertiary build, you know, not even the secondary build, but the secondary to the secondary, it's not bad. You know, and you know, it helps to push imagination a little bit, I think, which is the intent of things like this. But it's not great. Let's see something a little bigger that uses more of the pieces. Okay, that's definitely much bigger and uses a lot more of the pieces, indeed. So if there was any question about the ATV being rocket powered or jet powered, there should be no question about this one. I'm pretty sure this is jet powered. You know, it just has a jet engine on the back, and I think that's mostly supposed to be just exhaust for it, exhaust piping, and you could just imagine them, you know, tossing a little extra fuel in there to give a big show for the crowd that's around, you know, to get the big flames coming out. But this would actually be turbine powered, I would expect. A little different looking for the grill area, different than things I've seen before. It has an original Land Rover, or is that rain? Yeah, Land Rover kind of look to it. To me, just in the center there. Pretty big build. It has kind of brick built doors that can be opened, and hey, once again, there's a seat in there. Now this is a little bit closer to a proper minifig scale. As a matter of fact, this may be very close to a proper minifig scale, so it's especially appropriate to have a minifig seat in this one. Yeah, I mean, of course you can take the roof off, but it's not really designed the way that city sets tend to be designed with jumpers or tiles, or modified tiles used for the roof to make it especially easy to remove that. You know, it's just, you have to kind of disassemble it a little bit if you want to get easier access in there. But this is not bad. You know, both of those open up. It has the rear window on there. It's nice and low. I think the front fenders look pretty cool for what this is intended to try to be. A little bit weird with the integrated smokestacks going through the kind of B pillars there, but that's okay. Overall, it's a thing. It's pretty big, and it's interesting use of the parts. Still not the greatest looking thing overall, but not bad. And of course, everyone by now has commented that is up. Well, now it's down. Have any thoughts about the entire build though? Or how about this? The main build that actually uses all the pieces in the set. This is the Rocket Rally Car proper itself. This looks pretty nice. The color scheme here really, I think, works for a rally car. There's that, you know, that bright appearance overall. It's nice that we get even the recolor of these bracket pieces to just continue that line. That's dark azure, the color. These have also been colored into dark azure. That color is just taken over the Lego line. I hope they don't eventually completely supplant blue with that, because I think just a regular blue is nice as well. But it's interesting just how much they're pushing this this brighter looking color. But this car looks pretty good to me from pretty much every angle. Has some nice detailing, some nice lines. Appreciate the fact that it's all, properly brick built, except for the huge windscreen, of course. And, the window on the back. But I mean, it's a pretty proper full Lego build. You can see the rocket engine in there. Or is that a jet engine again? Again, looks like a jet, not a rocket. And why is it inside? Where does the exhaust go? Just through this little port right here, I guess. They've got this on a hinge back here. And then, I guess, oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Ah, I saw that. I saw that on the box. Okay, so it's a deployable jet engine for kicks. So just imagine that this is in a video game world, and you have a deployable jet engine. All right, I'll go for that. Yeah, a little bit of silliness. That's cool. You know what else can be deployed? This is something I haven't seen on a toy in a while. Push right here, right there. I'm gonna do it with my thumb. Deployable hood scoop to make it look like you are transforming your engine, like you're racing along and you pick up an upgrade. It gives you a supercharger. I guess this has an inline engine. That's different. I would expect it to have a transverse engine, but it's all good. That's a pretty sleek feature. If you don't want to see that, just put it away. If you do want to see it, it's really easy to bring it up. There's no hassle involved. There are no huge red things sticking out with big stickers with arrows saying push here. It's nicely integrated. I think it's cool for what it is. I think this is way better than this. This to me looks, I don't know, just not good enough. Just not good enough. I wish they had actually gone a little bit farther with a more complex build there. Maybe it would have been more difficult to get it to fit. Maybe it wouldn't have fit into the budget for the set, but something more over the top and with a flame piece that you could attach to it as well. If you're going to go for the boost thing, go for the boost thing. I think that this is a little bit too conservative. Check this out. These doors open as well. That's good. And it has kind of a detailed-ish interior. Take this roof section here off. Put that partially back in there so you can see. It has full seating for 2 figures. Good. And it has the gear shift lever there. And a nice setup for the steering wheel. You can change the angle of that. That's not bad. Now, one interesting thing for this, I don't know if it was just to give it room. Not really to give it room, I guess. It's just how this is built. Look at how hollow it is. Hollow in the front, and it doesn't really need that much room for the engine to move down in there. So this is just hollow here. It's hollow back here. It's not necessarily a bad thing. This is perfectly sturdy. There's no issue with durability here. I feel like this is, a plenty strong build. And yeah, everything works well enough, especially that engine or the scoop. The deployable jet thing, it's good for imagination, but I think it needs some customization. I think it needs to be more over the top to really sell itself. But not a bad looking build. It's a lot better of a car than I thought it would be. It doesn't scale with minifig scale stuff, but you can put 2 minifigs in it, and I think it's a good thing to have on the market. To have something that you can really build up like this. Brings a lot of fun into it. Brings in a little bit of the video game kind of unrealism that I think kids are accustomed to and have been for decades now. Yeah, not bad. I'm now glad that they have made this set. From the first build, the second build was okay, but this is nice. This is fun. And that's the Rocket Rally Car 3-in-1. Good price to part ratio. Pretty typical price to volume of stuff ratio. Some nice new part colors, and I really like that. That's okay. That not so much, but at the very least it gets kids going and hopefully gets them thinking about doing different stuff with the parts that they get in the set. Hope you enjoyed this review. Let me know if you have a favorite between these 3 or a favorite component of any one of them. And I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.